When you look at someone's foot, this side is called the medial side of the foot, the lateral side. The top of the foot here is called the dorsum. And the part you walk on is called the plantar surface of the foot. So you plant your foot on the ground. You've got the medial side, the lateral side, and the dorsum. When you have any vascular problems, you can actually feel the this is a major blood vessel areas right there, is pulsing away right on the top of the foot. And that's one of the things that you have to feel for, because sometimes when you do it consistently, you'll be able to see that some people have a very weak pedal pulse, they call it. Anyway, you can find that. But when you lace people's shoes up, you want to make sure that you don't tie that off. You want to make sure that that's not too tight there.
So would not a Mary Jane strap often be right over that? Is that right?
Yeah, but you have to remember that it should be. The strapping will move with the foot, so you don't have a problem. And when you come up here, there's a bone there called the navicular case, quite prominent, and that is a very high distance off the ground. I can put almost quite a bit of my fingers in the arch of cavus. This sort of foot is called the pes cavus, and a flat foot, and it's a high arch foot. So a shoe would walk in a shoe very differently than other feet. She's a very poor candidate for a high heel because she's walking on very little of the foot as it is. Once you raise that foot up, she's all of a sudden only walking maybe on 1.5 inches of a foot. And so it means that her whole upper body then has to balance itself on only a circle about 1.5 inches wide. So that makes all these muscles work hard. That muscle right there is really tight.
Yeah. I'm getting this crack.
And that means it never turns off. When she gets cramps, it means the muscle's on. Then it should have a period of time where it relaxes, and then it comes on again. Well, hers is on and on and on, because that right there is really tight.
So what would you recommend, what kind of shoes would you recommend for Kate?
Sorry. She's doing a really good job here. She needs a lot of foot on the ground, so you would buy a flat shoe. You would buy a straight last shoe. These are straight last shoes. So she's doing very well. I know she finds these comfortable. And this shoe has taken on her gait. If you can look at her shoe, you can see she doesn't come up on the toes very well because she hasn't used that part of the shoe very well. But, that's her gait. A person's gait is as individual as a personality. All of us inherit the ways we walk. They've done a huge study about children when they're 2 and 3 year olds, and they found that children like that, if they like you, they want to walk like you. They want to be like you. So a lot of kids pick up gait cycles, how they walk, that sort of slow tempo or whatever. They pick up because they like that person. So if they like you, they want to imitate you. So this is interesting stuff. The Kate's foot is a fairly reasonable foot to fit. Her biggest problem, of course, is that she doesn't like the look of the toes. So she might not wear sandals. She might not like certain sorts of shoes because she doesn't want. Nobody wants to demonstrate the one point that they feel is not particularly a shiny, glowing point, and everybody will be different. So you don't know those things when people come into the shop, but sometimes you can kind of see just by looking at their foot if they have calluses or corns or nail conditions that they probably would want something more colored at the toe, or they need. You can actually see them when they walk. If they slip out of a shoe, it's the wrong style. They might need a T-bar instead of a Mary Jane or a lace-up or maybe whatever. You can pick all that up once you know what to pick up. And the other thing is just to ask them very nicely, are there things that you really hate about your foot? Do you find certain shoes work better than the others? What sort of history do you have about footwear? Is there anything we could change? Can we try? Can we play? I always tell people that you want to play just with shoes, because they don't know how to buy shoes. Nobody's taught them how to buy shoes. You're both there experimenting, and you just say, look, I have time for this, and I will be quite happy to try lots of different things. And